I want to talk to the person who has an idea. Maybe you've had it for a while. Maybe it comes up every time you're sitting in a meeting that feels like it has nothing to do with your actual life. Maybe you've told a couple of people about it and they seemed excited, and then you went home and thought, well, what if I'm wrong? What if I quit my job, spend everything I have, and it just doesn't work? That fear is real, and it's not weakness. It's actually pretty smart, because the answer isn't just take the leap. The answer is you don't have to leap blind. I'm Sabrina Parsons, CEO of Palo Alto Software, the company behind LivePlan. And today I want to show you how to find out if your idea is real before you quit anything, before you spend anything, and before you make a single irreversible decision. There's a process for this. It's not complicated, and by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to run it. Here's the thing nobody tells you when you're sitting on a business idea. The goal at this stage isn't to build the business. It's to find out whether the business is worth building. The reason most people skip validation is that they think it requires resources that they don't have yet. You can answer the most important questions about your idea right now with what you already have access to. The key is knowing which questions to ask, because not all questions are equal at this stage. There are 3 questions that matter most. And if you can answer all 3 honestly, not optimistically, honestly, you'll know whether this idea deserves the next step. Question 1, is there actually a market for this? And is it big enough to build a business on? Question 2, can the numbers work even in a basic back-of-the-napkin way? And then question 3, what would have to be true for this to fail, and how likely is that? Those 3 questions are your feasibility check. So let's go through them one at a time. Question 1, is there actually a market for this, and is it big enough to build a business on? This sounds more complicated than it actually is. You're not trying to commission a research report. You're trying to answer one simple question. Are there enough people who have the problem your business solves, and are they currently paying someone to solve it? Start with the problem, not the product. Are there communities, forums, Reddit threads, reviews of competitors, maybe some frustrated customers leaving comments somewhere? That's market signal. That's real. Then get rough on the size. You don't need precision. You need a sanity check. It's okay if the market is smaller than you thought. A smaller market isn't automatically a bad business. It's just a different business. What you're looking for is evidence that real people with real money are already trying to solve this problem somehow. If they are, you have a starting point. Question 2, can the numbers work even in a basic back-of-the-napkin way? You do not need to be a financial person to do this. I promise you. What you need is to just get brutally honest about 3 numbers: what you'll charge, what it'll cost you to deliver, and how many customers you need before this replaces what you're currently earning. Let's walk through it simply. What's the most realistic price someone would pay for what you're offering? What does it actually cost you to deliver that? Your time, any materials, any tools or software, what's left over? And how many times do you need to make that transaction in a month to cover your personal expenses? If the math gets hard to make work even on paper, that's actually important information. It doesn't mean the idea is dead. It might mean the pricing model needs to change or the cost structure needs rethinking. But it's much better to find that out now before you've committed anything than 6 months in. If you're looking at this and feeling like you don't even know where to start putting these numbers together, that's genuinely okay. This is new territory for most people. The point isn't to have perfect numbers. The point is to have honest ones. This is actually exactly where LivePlan's idea canvas was designed to help. It's a single-page tool that walks you through the core elements of your business concept, so you can get everything out of your head and onto the page before you commit to anything. If you want to try it, there's a link in the description and you can get 50% off your first month. Okay, so you've looked at the market and it's real. You've run the basic numbers and they work, at least on paper. That's genuinely exciting. The feeling is real and you should let yourself feel it. But before you do anything else, I want you to try to break it. Here's the thing about business ideas at this stage. We're almost always too optimistic about them. Not because we're naive, but because we're human. When we're excited about something, our brain naturally fills in the gaps with best case scenarios. Customers will come faster than expected. Costs will be lower than projected. Word of mouth will carry us. And sometimes those things are true, but sometimes they're not. And the difference between an entrepreneur who learns that lesson cheaply versus one who learns it expensively is whether they stress tested their assumptions before they committed. What would have to be true for this to fail, and how likely is that? This is the most important question and the one people are most reluctant to ask, because asking it feels like you're talking yourself out of something you love. But what you're actually doing is protecting something you love by finding out it's fragile before it matters. Here's how to do it. Take your most important assumption, the one the whole business depends on, and ask, what if I'm wrong about this by half? What if it takes twice as long to get my first customer? What if the price point I'm imagining is 30% higher than what people will actually pay? What if the cost to acquire a customer is 3 times what I estimated? Does the business still work? Does it work worse but survivably? Or does it fall apart completely? If one wrong assumption collapses the whole thing, you found your most important risk. And now you can do something about it before you've spent $1. This isn't pessimism. This is what good planning actually looks like. The best entrepreneurs I've ever known aren't the most optimistic ones. They're the ones who can hold their excitement and their skepticism at the same time and use both. Here's what I want you to leave with today. You don't have to choose between your idea and your stability, not yet. What you have to do first is find out whether the idea is real. If you can answer all 3 of those questions with evidence, with honest math, with a clear-eyed look at your risks, then you'll know whether this idea deserves the next step. That's not a guarantee of success. Building a business is genuinely hard, and anyone who tells you otherwise isn't being straight with you. But the entrepreneurs who make it, more often than not, aren't the ones who leap the furthest. They're the ones who knew what they were jumping towards before they left the ground. And if this video was useful, subscribe. We put out content like this every week because we genuinely want to see your business succeed.